Hey, I'm Chris. This is my wife, Margie, and our guest today is Jeff from Dole Whip Dad.
Hey,
How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful?
hope you're doing great.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So Heaven is going to be running a little bit late, but she'll be joining us as soon as she's able to. So I guess we can start off to get to know Jeff a little better. So here's one question I have for you.
All right.
How did you get started in YouTube? I mean, what was it that got you, that wanted you to start? Or was Disney always the idea when you started? Am I asking you too many questions?
No. Disney was always part of the idea. You know, I liked YouTube. I enjoyed YouTube. And the first video I ever posted wasn't on this channel. It was on my first Google account. And it was just me making fun of I hid Easter eggs. No. I told my kids I hid Easter eggs, and there was no Easter eggs out there, and they just ran around and filmed it. That was the first video I ever posted, but I didn't put it on this channel. And I don't know, I liked it. It was fun, and I consumed a lot of YouTube, and you know, I run a nonprofit, and when I was, maybe 2 years before I started my channel, I was pretty frustrated. I was having some stress as it related to board members and growing an organization. And so I was looking for something to do when I got home to turn off my brain and think about things I loved. And the things I love are my family, sports, food, and Disney. And so I played with doing a sports channel. I played with leaving my organization and becoming a nonprofit consultant. We still do that stuff, but you don't have to have a board of directors. Sorry, board of directors, if you're in the chat, but it's driving me crazy. But and then I left Disney, and I frankly thought, about a year of considering what to do for a side hustle, frankly, wasn't feeling any better. And one day my wife said to me, "You need to do a sports channel." And I said, "I'll do a Disney channel." So I just started to fall in love with some people who were creating content online around Disney. And I didn't really go, I can do that, or I can't do that. I just started doing it. I can't say there was a grand plan, but just I like hearing myself talk, and I like hearing people looking, and it was just fun. And you know, there was no grand plan. And originally it was going to be family, sports, food, and Disney. Yeah, my favorite things. You've
nailed it.
I didn't plan all the time, but it certainly moved that way. And it's fun. That was
Yeah. So you obviously you were born out in California, correct?
Yep, West Covina, California. Right,
and so you started going to Disneyland first, is that right?
Yeah, we were Disneylanders. I've gone to Disneyland a lot of times, and Walt Disney World very less.
Oh wow!
But now we live in Fort Worth, Texas, which is right dang in the middle. My wife has family out in California, so she goes out there and she goes to see my in-laws and her brother and all that. I usually stay home and work, but she'll take the kids to Disneyland still, usually once a year. They went out last year for my 18-year-old, at the time 17-year-old's grad night, and so they stay at Disneyland once a year, maybe twice a year. But we still go out to Walt Disney World for the family. So I haven't been out to Disneyland. It's been about a decade now, but my family goes out without me.
Oh wow. Yeah, so we got Keith from Big Disney Fan in the chat.
Hey, buddy.
And we got Jeffrey. I don't know how to say his last name.
Jeffrey with an R. Hey, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey with an R. We got Blue is in the chat. We got Mar in the chat. And
hi, Mar.
It looks like who we have so far. But so we're here with Jeff. And so what has been probably the most difficult thing for you on YouTube?
I'm not a patient man. It's not my most difficult thing on YouTube. That's my most difficult things on earth.
Yeah.
I'm not a patient man. I don't want to be a patient man. I want to figure out how to do it now. I think that some of the best advice people can be given is figure out what your 20-year plan is and figure out how to do it in 6 months. You're not going to get there, but you're going to get a lot more done in those 6 months than you would have anyway. And that's kind of my philosophy. I don't think things take time. I think things take effort. And hey, Orlando guy, what's going on, buddy? And I just like it. I like the challenge of it. I like the growth of it. I like the competition of that. And what I mean by competition is, I mean me versus me last year, me
Right.
versus me last month.
Right.
But I do like that. I do keep score. I do, but I'm keeping score against myself. I'm not up against, you know, the Addy Family Adventures or the Tim Tracker. I'm up against
Right.
you yesterday, and so I love that part. But the hard part is patience. You know, I had a good day yesterday, but my subscriptions were flat, even negative for about a 6-week period.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I know why, but it doesn't make it better. It's frustrating as heck, you know,
Yeah.
when you're whatever number you're at and you get close to a number you're excited about and you can't quite get there, and then all of a sudden you lose a sub. And I wake up in the morning and the first thing I look at is who unsubscribed from me, you know. It's my patience. Patience is the hardest thing. And
I know that.
but on top of that, there's so many new skills. Like, but I'm not going to say that's the hard part, because I love that.
Right.
I don't know how to edit, so I learned how to edit. I don't know how to use music, so I learned how to music. You know, there's so many things. You know, I'm trying to work on pattern interruptions on my videos right now. And frankly, I'm kind of taking a break from videos. I'm trying to do live streaming in 2020. And so I'm doing purposefully a lot less videos in 2020 and doing more live streaming for a bunch of reasons, which I can talk about if you want. But the frustrating part is not learning. The frustrating part is not growing.
Right. I know exactly what you mean there. You know, you got TubeBuddy, and it gives you that milestone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's like you see you're almost right there, and then somebody unsubscribes and somebody subscribes. And it's like, who keeps unsubscribing and resubscribing over and over?
They clearly just had, hey, Roxana, they clearly just had a purge too. And that's part of the problem. I was very, hey, Mar, I had a blessing of a video late 2019. I did a COPPA video, Child Online Privacy.
Right.
By far my best viewed video, my most profitable video, my most subs video, all the things, right? Well, I'm a Disney channel, so some of those people loved that video. Thanks, guys. Hit subscribe. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, but they never came back, right?
Right.
They don't care about what's going on in Space Mountain. They couldn't care less about Adventureland.
Right.
And so it's been 6 months, and YouTube is purging them. And so I reaped a nice wave in October, November, December, and I'm at the very beginning of what I know is a wave of a bunch of subs to go away, which is frustrating.
Right.
I had 6 months to make them love me, and they didn't. So what do I do?
Yeah. So Jeff's a baseball fan, Margie.
Are you a Cubs fan?
No, he's not a Cubs fan.
I love when the Cubs lose to my Dodgers. That's one of my favorite things. I do love your new manager, though, David Ross. He was a Dodger. Big
like
David Ross.
Yeah, it's too bad that this first year's manager hasn't been a good year so far. So, but it hasn't been a good year for anything. So, but
not yet.
Yeah. But so was there? How about? Is there any YouTubers that inspired you?
Yes.
Okay.
Casey Neistat by far is my most the videographer, the YouTuber that I to use your word, to be inspired by the most.
Right.
He used to daily vlog. He is not in the Disney world. He used to live in New York and now lives in Southern California. And I know he goes to Disney on occasion and he's a fan. He's got a cute little kid, but he's not a Disney YouTuber by any means. But he used to daily vlog, and he would truly make a movie every day, not a video, a movie.
Right.
He's a whatever level I hope to be. He's a couple hundred levels above that already. And I'm very inspired by his creativity. Peter McKinnon. I love Peter McKinnon. He's more of a photography guy, but he's a YouTuber crushing it. Right. Just love his visuals. Again, he's more outdoorsy. He got a lot of coffee, a lot of knives, a lot of Canada in his videos. Nothing Disney at all. Right. Yeah, I would say those two.
I think it's funny because most people you talk to that do Disney, you know, you find out they do watch Disney videos, but it's like if you're given a choice to sit back and just relax and watch YouTube, what do you watch? And you usually hear they're not watching Disney, they're watching, you know, something else. I
love Disney. I love this. Hey, Gonzo, what's going on? Hey, Rachel, what's going on?
Hey, Gonzo.
I love the Disney community, the YouTube community, I mean, specifically. I love a lot of the videos I see. I don't watch as much as people always assume I do.
Right.
I don't know what that is, but you know, you're either creating or you're watching.
Right.
Both at the same time, and you know, I've got my family of 4 daughters and now 3 grandkids and a full-time job and all those things. I'm not complaining. I'm not bragging. I'm just stating. But I watch a lot of Disney YouTube, a lot. But of all the people that I know in the community and I love, I couldn't watch. If I watched everybody that I loved in the Disney community once a week, I would be a 40-hour-a-week full-time job. And it'd be more than that, honestly. So I usually am getting, I read a lot of stuff. I get a lot of blog posts. I'm always keeping up with Disney news and I'm finding out what's going on. And I'll pop in on videos now and then. But I find that people who are watching aren't creating. People who are creating aren't watching. It's hard to be both. I don't think it's even possible.
Right.
But
yeah, and I found out
I consume a lot of it. But
yeah, I mean, I try to watch like the people I try to support and everything like that. But usually, if it's something where I'm just relaxing, I end up watching like Margie knows this. I watch a lot of the video game guys is who I like to watch because it's not that I'm watching them because they're playing a game. The guys I'm watching are doing comedy while they're doing it.
They're entertaining. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
when I'm on YouTube, I'm watching Nick Nimmin. I'm watching everything I can from TubeBuddy. I'm watching D Nimmin. I'm watching Sean Cannell. I'm watching the guys who are the group of people that are teaching you how to grow. Pat Flynn. I'm a Pat Flynn nut. I'm consuming stuff about growing. I get a lot of Disney news though, but it's not. I mean, I love the Tim Tracker and all, but I haven't watched a video by him in probably 2 years.
Really? Wow.
And I love him.
Well, here lately, I think most of their videos have been about their baby, but he has been to the park. So, but
I just
Gonzo Heaven's going to be late.
Yes.
Where's Heaven?
Heaven, it said, where is Heaven?
Heaven went to TJ Maxx and Target.
Nice.
And
I have
late now.
a little niece named Neva, which is Heaven backwards, which I feel like is a dangerous thing. You go with Heaven, you go with Neva. Are we just rolling the dice there? But it's a beautiful name.
Yeah, Heaven. I think she's been called Evan, Heather. She's been called all kinds of things.
I love that name. You talk about supporting Disney YouTubers.
Yeah,
it's important to me that I do that, and it's one of the reasons I do my Sunday show. Frankly, for me, I don't have time to. I mean, I could pick out one. I couldn't even watch all my stuff the whole time. I mean, I do, So, like when I was daily vlogging last year, I didn't have time to watch all my stuff and get to tomorrow's video. Truly, I mean, you watch it while you're editing, obviously, but I have time to watch it again. I honestly haven't watched an entire video of mine outside of the editing process or a live stream ever. Now, again, you're editing it, so obviously you watch it. During that, but the way I support YouTubers and the ones I care about, this is going to sound rough, but I don't really think watching somebody's video is supporting them. I think you watch their video because you're entertained by it. You watch a video because you like it.
Right.
The back and forth there is you're entertaining me, so I watch it. I support my friends and my Disney YouTubers and all that. I whether it be on Patreon or a member of their channel, got a couple of those, and obviously I do some things on a show that I'm trying to help people develop on YouTube. And I think it's a misnomer. I do. I think like people talk about support streams, and I think it's a road down the level of, well, I'll watch yours if you watch mine, even if we don't say that. And I watch who entertains me, and who entertains me is, I mean, I watch Resort TV 1 a little bit every Friday night. I don't watch 8 hours. I can't do that. I can't even do that when I'm at the parks. I take a break. But I think there's other ways to support people. And I hope this is one of the ways. I hope that telling people about their show, being on other people's shows, inviting people onto my show, helping people on the Sunday night show, Creator Talk, and talking about TubeBuddy and all that. I think there's ways to support people. Just frankly encouraging them. I think that's kind of at least where my niche is. I love consuming. There you go. Who's that? Orlando guy? Exactly. Man, Orlando guy. It's like I typed that myself. I don't know Emma Chamberlain, but Nice Dad I love, McKinnon I love, Daryl Eves I love, Nick Nimmin I love. I don't know Emma Chamberlain, but I know the name, but I don't know why. But Orlando guy, thank you. I'll take that group any dang day, man. Honored to be in that group. Love it. Anyway, I don't know. It's important to me that I support channels. It means a lot to me. I don't think watching a video is bad. I think.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I think one of the best things I heard, like you said something about, being competing with yourself, that you're not competing with like us or other channels, is I think it came from watching you, and I think it was from watching you and Lynn, where she said that Josh from what was it? Yeah, he said that a high tide raises all boats.
It's true. I don't understand why it's in our Disney community. We like some of my favorite Disney YouTubers I've heard say, "Oh, it's such a competitive field." No, it's such an wide open, opportunity filled field.
Right.
I think, so during this pandemic, I had two YouTubers. How do I want to say this and not sound like an arrogant jerk? I think the ability to do content based on where you are is pretty easy. I think the ability to do content that you create out of thin air is the magic. And I think, you can come on and talk about Winnie the Pooh and you can be boring as heck. Or you can talk about Winnie the Pooh and be super engaging and fun and make people want to join your tribe, your channel, whatever. I think that, how do I say this? Being a little bit vulnerable, I guess, and being willing to just have fun and make sure they are having fun. You guys, Mar and Gonzo and Addie, hey, I've heard of them. And all the people that are in chat right now, thinking about creating for them, it's kind of awesome, man. It's kind of it's kind of amazing. I mean, think about it. You got 100 dang channels of cable. You got 4 or 5 things that we pay monthly that just have tons of shows on there, and people choose to come watch us. It's kind of an honor, right? I'm going down a rabbit hole, but I love it.
I think what it is too, being that it's YouTube compared to TV, it's like I can actually communicate with the person who's on there compared to.
This is better than that. I came to YouTube because I like the videos, and I started creating videos, and I kind of made fun of live streaming,
right?
And a little bit out loud. And now here I am in 2020. My YouTube, but my major point of emphasis, I guess is the way to say it, is live streaming. Last year I went daily vlogging. Why? I wanted to see if I could get good at it. This year I'm going live way more than any human should be allowed to go live. Why? I'm trying to see if I can get good at it, and it builds community and all those things. And I think that, again, back to that competition thing, Josh on PPP, Lynn, the Addie family, Gonzo, Orlando guy. Well, Orlando guy's in the Orlando space, not so much the Disney space, but them growing helps me. And I don't know why people don't see that. If Pepper Tree Villa gets to 1,000 subscribers before I do, that helps me. It's like they think that it's a pie.
Right.
It's really this, everybody gets a trophy mentality for 3 generations of kids, I think, and we don't know how to compete. I'm not competing against the Addie family and the Tim Tracker and the other names. I'm not. You and Tim Tracker and everybody in between, bringing more people to the platform that are might be eyeballs for my content. How do we don't see that as a win?
Right.
It's that I don't know. Maybe my brain is too simplistic, but if you bring more people to YouTube and you're in the Disney space, I see that as opportunity for me, not the other way around.
Well, speaking about Disney.
Good. How are you?
Kevin.
Good. How are you?
Spectacular.
So he just brought up Disney, so that's why I brought you in right then.
Okay.
He said you don't like Disney very much. How come he said that?
I have no idea.
I like the paint behind you. That's pretty.
Let's get into Disney.
Like it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, which is your favorite park? I probably have heard this, but
Favorite park?
yeah.
Epcot, specifically World Showcase, specifically during Christmas and/or Food and Wine.
Gotcha. So, and then I know what Margie will ask. You got anything for me, Margie?
Who's his favorite character?
Oh, okay.
My favorite character in the parks or in general?
In general.
Oh, that's so hard. Probably Robin Hood, but it depends on the day.
Right.
Robin Hood comes to mind pretty quick. I like a lot of them. I do. I like a lot of them.
So
Where's your favorite place to eat at Epcot
That's the
in
one
World
I-
Showcase?
Favorite place to eat at Epcot? Wherever I get to go next is the real answer.
Perfect.
But if I had to be very, very specific, during
Mhm.
Food and Wine, I want the charcuterie plate from Spain, because the charcuterie plate from Spain, I got excited there. It's so good. So good. I love the Mexican Pavilion. I love the Napoli. Yeah, I like it all. I don't know if you can't quite see my abs, but it's because they're way under a few layers. Hey,
Gonzo,
just
Gonzo said he didn't see you today, Heaven.
I wasn't there today.
That'll make sense. So, so I guess, okay. When did you find your love for Disney? I mean, when was it that you realized that Disney was something you loved?
early. So I was adopted at 6 weeks old, and I know I was in the park sometime between that and my 6-month birthday, I think is what my mom has told me. I'm not going to say I fell in love with it yet, because I was just, slobbering and whatever little babies do. But I have no memory of not loving Disney. It was definitely early. My family was a Disney family. They were nuts about it. I've told the story before. My grandfather worked at Disneyland before Disneyland opened.
That's right.
Main Street. He painted part of the Jungle Cruise. So we were a Disney
nice.
family before Disneyland was even open. They lived near the parks, they being my grandparents. I never, ever have a moment in my life. When I was 4, when I was 5, when I was 6, I already loved Minnie and Mickey Mouse. Christmas at our house is full of Mickey and all the things Disney. We had a family friend when I was very young. His name is Gary Goldman. Gary Goldman used to be an animator for Disney. He left Disney with Don Bluth. Don Bluth went on to do Don Bluth Productions, and he was a family friend. Gary Goldman was. And so I have memories early on of watching the old real movies at what was Gary Goldman's house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are early memories of my life. 4, 5, I don't know. 3, I don't know. When do you have memories in the beginning? And yeah, we just always had Disney's always been a large part, not a little part, a large part. Baseball, Disney, church, bacon, those are my things that have never
Bacon. Yep.
Margie don't like bacon.
No.
I've got a daughter who's also a vegetarian. I don't understand it.
I hope Margie's not a
Bacon
vegetarian.
coincides with Disney, so
Yeah. Margie, she likes the smell of bacon. She just doesn't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
You can smell it and then just hand it to me and we'll take it. Free smell.
So, what is usually when you guys go to the park? Are you guys like the type that has to go and do everything? Or are you just there to like? I mean, what is
we
it
don't
like?
even get fast passes more than half of the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we're there to. So I've got.
like you.
Huh?
Said we like you.
Yeah. We always every trip we take, we're always like, next time we need to slow down. And compared to the rest of the world, we're going way slower than everybody else. Like I don't even know how to say this. Like we just like being there. If I just walked Main Street for the whole day, I'd be happy. If I just we don't even say we go to the Magic Kingdom or Disneyland, we're not probably likely to see all of the lands. Like we could be in maybe Adventureland and another one, but we're not probably going to hit all the lands because we're taking our time. We're having a good time. We're doing, meet and greets, or we're riding rides or whatever, but we don't rush.
Right.
We don't rush. And I'll say it again, we always feel like we rush too much. This next trip, obviously with COVID being weird, we're not sure what's going to be able to happen. We're going to be there in early October. My wedding anniversary is October 7th. We're going to be out there for that. Meeting up with a friend who's going to be out there. It's a specific situation, but regardless, we might not even go in the parks. Now, we might not go in the parks because the parks might not even be open, but we're going to be staying at some resorts and hanging out and doing a meet and greet here or there. And I might not even go in the parks. Now, I might too, but we love it all. Like we could just hang in the Polynesian and be happy. We could just hang at Disneyland and be happy, or Disney World. We're definitely not rushing.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we go down there and it's like, if we didn't write everything, we don't feel like we got everything done.
Yeah, we watch people doing that. Most people are like you, not us. We don't have fear of missing out. We have expectation we're going to be there again.
Right. So, what has been your longest stay at Disney World?
Probably less than you think. When we went to Disneyland, it was never more than a day. We never even stayed in a hotel.
Right.
We'd go sometimes 3 and 4 times a week though. But 6 days, I think. I don't know. I don't want to lie to you. It'd be 5, 6, or 7. I'm sure. I think. Well, we drive.
Right.
Not every time, but usually we drive. I think a 9-day trip. So a day and a half drive and a day and a half back, leaving you 7 in the park. So I guess 7 would be, or no, is that 5? Day and a half, 6. I don't know.
I think the longest we stayed was 9 days. Is that right, Margie? Was that the longest
Yes.
we've been there? And like I said, we tried to ride everything. And with 9 days, we actually had time to sit down and relax. And it just felt so good.
We just don't want to come home more tired than when we left. You know?
Right.
And we're gonna come home and hit the beach. Actually, once we come home, Wifey always wants to rush. You know, if Wifey was sitting next to me, she might have different answers on some of these. But I like taking my time. I do. Caitlin makes a good point. I would stay at Disney Springs all day. We've done plenty of trips where there's a full day at Disney Springs or the boardwalk or whatever. So there's a lot to see.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think the last few times we've been to Disney Springs, I don't think we really seen as much as what we normally would have seen. I think, and usually Disney Springs is like, if the park closes early, we'll go to Disney Springs.
Yeah,
Or
I don't know why we do that.
Why do you say that?
Because Disney Springs is a great place. There's bars down there we could go to. We could go bowling.
There's a whole day's worth of stuff.
You guys have never even seen the Cupcake ATM. Like,
Yeah, we have.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
I took a picture
Yeah,
of it.
Haley wanted one.
Okay.
Yeah, regardless, I'm with Heaven. Like I've done full days at Disney Springs and multiple times, and I still haven't done everything I want to do. One of my favorite things to do in all of Disney is at Disney Springs, and it's during the holidays, the Christmas tree trail. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, we did that the last time we were there.
Love
Yes.
it. We were there, so this
do
was not last year, but the year before. And the first night we were there, we stayed at a little hotel right across the street. It was right across from the Christmas tree trail. It was perfect. And we walked over there, and my wife and my daughters were like, "There's too many people." And I'm like, "Yeah, you go buy some cotton candy." I loved it. I got video of every single one. I love Christmas, and I love Disney.
It was
together.
really full the day that they got to go see it too.
Yeah.
It was packed the day, but I'm not a patient guy, but I'm going to get what I want, right? So I got a video of every single tree up and down. It looked like there's nobody there, and there was people everywhere. I just, did it again. If somebody walked in the way, it was awesome.
Yeah, my aunt, she was one of them that she's big in Disney, and she lives up in Detroit, Michigan, and she'll fly down for a day and then fly back.
So I'm very, very, very hopeful that I will get to that point in my life. Financially, I think I can do yet. Well, Gonzo, yes, Gonzo says we can stay at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge all day. Exactly, I can totally do that. I'm hoping to get to my finances to a situation that in 2021 I can do 2 or 3 trips that I just fly on a Friday, come home on a Sunday. But I don't have the money for that yet. But I'm trying.
Yeah, but she's
maybe when I get to 10,000 subscribers.
Right.
Who knows?
But yeah, she's been doing that for a while, and I can't believe at her age she's always, and she's a vegan as well, and except for when she gets Heaven to get crab cakes with her. But
no, she forces me to get crab cakes so that I don't like them and she can eat them.
Where are you getting them?
The time that this happened, she bought them from the Coral Reef.
Oh, okay, because I've had them at the what is the American Experience. They're all right, but I love me some crab cakes.
Wow.
I didn't enjoy it much, so she said, "Oh, just give that here. I'll eat it."
Like the bacon thing. And then when you say that,
When you go,
go ahead.
When you go to Food and Wine, do you try a little bit of everything? I was gonna try the escargot, but it was wrapped in bacon, so that was a no for me.
Oh, so you are the first human in the history of humanity to think that the problem with escargot is maybe
I want to try.
I
I love trying new things.
You should try bacon. I think you've got that backwards. Really. Whatever. Hey, it is what it is. Chris, don't tell her what it is.
I know what it is.
I've had escargot, and it tastes and feels exactly like what it is. There you go.
I will never know unless I try it, right?
No, he's telling you.
Yeah, but from my own experience.
Why do you think they call it escargot? Because it's snail. Anyway,
might be good.
Yeah, but the answer to your question is I like trying everything. I love culture. Part of culture is food. I actually just taught a class for some junior high kids last year. It was basically World Showcase. Right. Talking about different lands and cultures and countries, and we talked about the music, we talked about the architecture, we talked about a couple things, history, politics, the ancient politics, at least, or the older politics, history, better stated. But we brought in food every time. So if we were doing, I don't know, Mexico, we were having tacos. And actually, I did do Mexico, and they made me bring in Taco Bell, but we also brought in good stuff. But yeah, escargot will make Jeff go, ugh, it's gross. Come on, people. Who's fooling who? That's disgusting.
So in Magic Kingdom, I know Adventureland is your favorite land there.
Guilty.
Right. What is your favorite attraction there in Adventureland?
Oh, I mean, Jungle Cruise comes right out. So, okay, this is a hard one. In Disneyland, it's Indiana Jones, because Indiana Jones is a spectacular ride.
Okay.
Spectacular. You guys have Dinosaur, which is the worst example of what it's the exact same ride track, it's the exact same vehicle, but you make it boring and dumb. I don't understand how you do it.
I don't know.
Only Imagineers could pull it off, but sorry.
I don't know about boring and dumb. There was a while where
there's been times that my dad would fight us so that he didn't have to sit on the outside.
I swear it feels like that dinosaur is breathing down your neck. I swear. And it just would.
So I had high hopes for Dinosaur.
Right.
I'm just gonna say I didn't enjoy it. But Indiana Jones, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 347. It's an amazing ride. And so, but that's only in Disneyland. I love the Jungle Cruise. I love me some Dole Whip. Is Pirates of the Caribbean in Adventureland? I guess you have to determine that, as I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know there in Disneyland, it's in New Orleans Squares.
Yeah.
It's Adventureland and Disney World. But
if I can only do one, I'm not only doing one. So I don't know. I love it.
Gonzo, did you hear that? He said he likes the Jungle Cruise. When I told you I like the Jungle Cruise, you told me to get real.
Gonzo just wants to go fast and yell. Here's Gonzo at Disneyland. Ah! I'm like, dude, we're on the TTA. Slow down. That's his jam. He loves it. It's fun. He took me on the first time I ever did the I don't know is it Mission Space?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done it before, and I didn't know what to expect. He's all right. Well, we're gonna get tight in a thing, and we're gonna go really high and really fast. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Am I about to die? And I don't know. It was strange. I didn't.
We just went on Mission Space yesterday.
I haven't done the wild one. He was on the.
You were on the less intense.
I think. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
The green side is the less intense.
It was a whole conversation that I didn't have any. I'm like, okay, I'm just following you. I don't know. But it was fun.
We went on the orange side yesterday, the more intense. And when we got on it, my roommate said, I wish it just had a few more G's. And I was like,
okay. So yeah.
Get sick on this.
What we did, you know what? It was intense in the how I had nowhere to move.
Right.
I'm like, what are we getting protected from? What's going on? But it was pretty cool. But anyway, Gonzo, he just wants.
He said you went on the green one.
Yeah, okay. I remember when he asked me, he's like, which one do you want to go to? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm following.
I just learned that they will try to alter the wait time for the orange one so that it's always more than the green one, so that people will do the green one instead of automatically going to the orange one and getting themselves into something they're not familiar with yet.
Really?
I mean, I can see why that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It was fun.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't. Gonzo's more into the like we have magic. Okay, so we have Six Flags out here, And in Southern California, we had Magic Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzo, in my opinion, would like the roller coaster stuff, the thrill rides. He loves all that, and that's fun. I love it too. But for me, Disney is about the theming. I mean, I love Expedition Everest. I love Flight of Passage, but you add the theming in is what I love.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love the thrill rides too, but you know, just pick
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing reaction videos for Disney rides, and I've been seeing some rides like over there in Hong Kong and like Shanghai and Tokyo. And it's like they're taking rides and they're throwing animatronics in rides you wouldn't expect animatronics to be in. There's like, I think it's called Roaring Rapids, which is just like what's the water ride there at Animal Kingdom called?
Cali
River.
But they drop you, they take a drop on there in the dark, and then when you go through, there's a dragon in there.
Please.
Yeah, and it's so.
I vote for dragons on all rides. That's pretty cool. Triple D announced, "Hey Detroit, what's going on?"
Hey, thanks for coming in. So, what's the first thing you want to do when you get back
to Disney?
Yes.
Not take any emails, not take any phone calls, not care what day it is. I barely care what day it is during the work week, let alone when I'm on vacation. I like being in the bubble.
Yeah.
I do. I like seeing the purple signs. They didn't have those in Anaheim. I just like being in the bubble. I love the Poly. I want to walk down the Poly hallway and I want to go into Captain Cook's and I want to have a coconut meatball or whatever the heck they're called. I want to walk into Main Street. I want to see the Christmas tree or the Halloween decorations or whatever they got going on, and I want to walk into the fire station. I want to get one of the cards they have, the silly cards. I love the little silly cards, and just walk down Main Street, smell the smells, and have a pretzel and have a churro and have some bacon and make sure I don't have any escargot and all that stuff.
Did you ever get to see the Osborne lights?
I never. I mean, on videos and such. Not. I didn't even know what it was when people were talking about it first. Yeah. I only started going to Walt Disney World in Orlando maybe 5 years ago. Again, we went to Disneyland a lot.
Right.
But now there you go. I knew I liked you. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to. So what are we going to do? Is there going to be a Halloween card this year? Because
I don't even know.
I need to know.
I just dropped them all.
One of my wife knocked them over the other day, and that's why this one's here. It's not in the pile that it should be, but it was live on the show too. I'm like, I can't yell at you right now. We're live, but anyway, I don't know if they're going to have the card this year, and I think one of the things that's bumming me out so much is the years that I didn't get the special Christmas Halloween cards. They're on eBay and they're like $8 billion.
Yeah.
So
it makes me so frustrated because I'm missing so I've been down here for 3 Halloweens and 3 Christmases now, and I have 2 of each, but I don't have 3 of each.
Yeah,
because the first year we decided to go to a Halloween party instead of a Christmas party, and then the second year, the next year, my roommates were like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to go to a Halloween party this year."
So the key to roommates is not letting them tell you where to go.
Then I have to go alone.
Yeah. Can you tell I never had a roommate? I wouldn't be a good roommate. I'm going here. I don't care if you come.
If I go to the Magic Kingdom by myself, though, then I spend a lot of time talking to my coworkers that are working. I never go anywhere else.
I would in trade all day. See, that's the thing. Chris, you were asking me earlier. I'm never in a rush because I like the sights, I like the smells. I'm taking pictures, I'm taking video, taking a lot of B-roll now that we do the YouTube thing, right? But I last trip, I swear, all I did was B-roll, and I had a blast.
Right.
But I do like the card games. I like the I just like the little things. Like a couple of years ago, I did a video. It was during Christmas time of some of the windows. They did a Mickey's Christmas Carol. Yeah, isn't that neat? I love those. And so I did a video, and I just did it slow, and then I narrated over it, and 8 of them or whatever it was, like a 4-minute video. And I had probably 40 or 50 people say, "Dude, where was that? I didn't even see it." you walked right by it at
Right.
least twice every
Right.
time you were there.
I said something about those being new, and people told me no, that they'd been there for years, and I was like, "This is new."
I when I saw it there, I was excited because I saw it years ago in Anaheim.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean that I could do the same thing. It's usually just when we go, it's like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that, and I'm like sometimes just like I just want to like, you know, bring everything in and experience what's around me. And but the thing is, yeah, the last time we went with my mom and dad and my brother and his little girl, and she seemed to be in charge of what we did.
Well, and that's me too. I don't. So I can totally be in control, and at work I'm always in control, and blah 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 blah. When I'm on vacation, I mean, there's things I want to do, and I get my way plenty too. But I've got 4 daughters.
Right.
2 of them are adults now, but generally somebody was like really excited about something, so we'd go do that. Because I mean, what are they going to say? They're going to pick Flight of Passage or Expedition Everest. I don't lose, I win either way. What do I care, right? So my dad was very lunatic. We're going to go where I say when I say. So I'm sure I fade into that sometimes and go, no, I really want to do this. I'm sure I do that. I don't want to pretend like I'm Mr. Totally easygoing. I'm not. But they're picking between things I love. If 4 people are choosing,
Right.
The 4th choice I'm gonna love. I mean, what are we? I mean, unless it's Dinosaur or Escargot, I'm gonna be able. So I do love pin trading. Gonzo, what the heck? Gonzo, I'm with Gonzo. I know your buddies with Gonzo. I'm there with him. What was Galaxy's Edge opening day, and we're there for I don't know 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. And I pin trade. I got a backpack and it's heavy because there's a bunch of pins in there, and I like pin trading. And so I'm stopping and pin trading, and him and Al are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm pin trading." Like, no, we're going. We got to go to the next thing. And go, ah! I'm like, no. We're going to pin trade. I'm going to pin trade. And,
Yeah, you've got a pin trade.
Right? I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's like my crack.
What the heck, Gonzo?
Breaking Bad could have been about pin trading for me, and I would have been an addict. but he didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And then 4 hours later, he's got 13 shows about pin trading on his channel. What's
He just commented and said it's boring.
He even says, "What? Gonzo, you got to pick a side, buddy." I don't care what side it is, but pick one. Now I'm in love. Okay. He's not right there. The 2, look at the 2. Boring. Now I'm in love. But I love it. And you know what? Part of it, I mean, you're a cast member, I know. Part of what I love about pin trading is the cast members. You know, usually I'm doing it with one of my daughters, and now it's my youngest one usually. She's 16. It's not like she's little. But I get to interact with her. She runs up and she gets to pick the first thing that she can find, and we interact with cast members. And sometimes they're busy and they move along, but sometimes we end up talking about where they're from and all this, and it's pretty dang awesome. I love it.
Right.
It's a good time for us too, when we're in the right position. I mean, to be fair, we shouldn't be wearing them in the wrong position, but
I have had moments where I'm looking at these pins and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I feel like a creepy guy because, you know, it is what it is. I'll just leave it.
My pin lanyard is currently in a box of things that I should take with me to work, but I don't.
It's fun though. I love that they do it. I do.
So, Jeff, was your wife a Disney fan when you met her, or did you make her a Disney fan?
I wouldn't date people unless they would give me bacon and go to Disney with me. So started right there. No, she was a big Disney fan too. It's funny though, she didn't go a lot. So she lived way closer to Disneyland. I grew up in San Diego. She grew up in Redlands. So in Southern California, San Diego is about an hour and a half away. Redlands is about 45 minutes away if you don't count traffic, and who knows about traffic out there. So she was closer by about half, but she went as a kid once in her life. I went as a kid
Right.
a lot.
Right.
But she liked it. She liked it a lot. Our first movie date was The Lion King. I know when I don't know what form of, hey, what movie you want to go, I asked or whatever, but I know when it was, I know that she was excited about seeing The Lion King before it came out. And I knew, you know, this is going to work out just fine.
So obviously the Polynesian is your favorite resort.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I like a lot of them. And if you ask me, I would be my dopey self and say my favorite one's the next one I get to go to, but I love the Poly.
So when you guys go, where do you normally stay? I think the last time you guys said you stayed at the Best Western. Was that right? That was right there.
So what we normally, let me go the next trip. The next trip we're staying at, we're staying at Old Key West.
Oh wow.
For one night, we're staying at Art of Animation. I hope I have that right. Wifey makes all the plans, and we don't stay at the same place.
Okay.
We've stayed at all of the All Stars. We've stayed at with Gonzo one night. Stayed at
Pop Century.
the big woody one, woodsy one.
Oh,
Wilderness
movies?
Lodge.
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Wilderness Lodge. Wow, my brain went away. I couldn't find it. Wilderness Lodge. That was awesome. Only one night, but that was a lot of fun. Stayed at the Poly for a week. Or 4 days or whatever it was. I don't know. Stayed at. I love Saratoga Springs. Our first year's DVC, we stayed at Saratoga Springs. Loved it. People were telling us that we were going to be bored with it. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I guess my point is we like changing it up.
right.
We haven't done Animal Kingdom yet. That's the one that my wife wants to do the most. So we'll do that. It's and our next 3 trips. That's not one we're doing, but I know we'll be doing that pretty soon. If I were to go to one that I've already gone to, it would definitely be the Poly. But we're not gonna. Let me say it this way: we're gonna stay at someplace new until we've done them all.
Of them.
But we're gonna see the Poly every time we go. Me not staying in the Poly doesn't mean I'm not going to the Poly.
Right.
I'm going to the Poly for sure.
When you stayed at the Poly, did you stay DVC or did you stay in the village?
DVC, and it was
Okay, cool. Do you know what building you were in?
a big, beautiful Polynesian looking one.
Okay, cool. I only asked because I also worked at the Polynesian. That's where I did housekeeping. And
I would love that.
this, I don't know if you can read it. This building,
Tukilau?
yeah, better than what someone else said. I had a family come up one day and ask me how to get to Taco Louie. And I said, what?
I mean, I would go to that too. I
was like, we get a new restaurant and I don't know about it.
We stayed in the.
It's Tokilau.
So so to answer your question, when we walked out and made a left away from at the farthest side of the resort.
The ceremonial house.
Yeah, as far away from that as you could be. If I'm walking away from that and I made a left out of our building, we would be looking at the ones on the water, and then where the concierge level stuff is. That was right there. So that was like the one next to us.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know what that.
Yeah, actually, that might be Tokilau.
Honestly, I don't know.
I get it. I was just curious.
But it was awesome, and I loved it.
So
I'll only ever get to say DVC once in my entire life, and that was during a hurricane. So
Nice.
So is there any place that you haven't ate at Disney World that you would like to eat at?
Oh yeah. 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 How many hours you got? We're live. Yeah. I mean, number one on my list. I don't even know what number one on my list is. Tipon Edo, I hear, is amazing. I haven't done that. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. What's the fancy Tutto Gusto or whatever? I haven't been there yet. Really, I haven't done any of the sit downs in World Showcase because I'm grazing. Like, I don't know how I could. I might pop. I mean, I'm pretty big already, and I eat a lot walking around World Showcase. To actually have a sit down meal might be my last. I don't know. I'm scrounging the whole way around, but I do want to do all of them.
Right.
I don't even know what you asked me. Look at how excited I got.
I think one of the places that we talked about that we'd like to try it there, like at the World Showcase, was Tapanitos.
Yeah,
that's what you were just saying, isn't it?
I hear it's amazing. I haven't been there. See, so if I go right, and I usually go right.
Right.
By the time I get to Canada, I've had 2 or 3 things. If I go left, I'm not getting out of Mexico without being full. So by the time I get to anything that's not Canada or Mexico, I need a nap.
Right. I think the one place I like, and I think it's the only. No, we've ate somewhere other than Le Cellier Steakhouse.
See, I hear that's amazing too.
Le Cellier Steakhouse, it's amazing. We did eat over at Norway.
That's way too far away from the very beginning. So I don't Norway.
But they weren't open, Jeff. We were there for breakfast. We had a reservation.
My kids love the little pastry thing in Norway. We always end up sitting there, and by that time I need a break anyway. So I'm hanging out with Anna and/or Elsa and the dude with the big nose and a pastry.
Right. So we've had So are you talking about school bread?
Ew.
Oh.
Well, they probably sell school bread, but he's just talking about the bakery there in Norway.
Yeah, I'm talking about La Kringa or La Kringle or
Oh, I got you.
something that makes me think of Santa Claus and has pastries. I don't know.
Yeah, we had the school bread, and not everybody liked it. So, but there we go.
Hey, I got to see like the first little bit of Food and Wine yesterday.
I was watching a little on Corey's stream the other day. You know, it's can I just win the lottery so I love my work. I do. I love what I do. But I'm sitting there and I've got to go. And Corey, I'm talking about Corey Meets World. He's at Epcot. It's the first day it's been open in months. And they've got the previews for Food and Wine. And I'm supposed to go to work.
Right.
And here's the real problem. Don't tell anybody, but like, I'm the boss. So who's going to yell at me? I got to go anyway. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We didn't really look at a whole lot of I think we stopped at one booth. We tried to look at all of them, but we stopped at the booth in Mexico, and my roommate and I both got, it was a passion rose sangria. And it is.
I've never had a passion rose sangria, but I have a passion for wanting it right now.
Yeah, you should. It was delicious.
Sounds good.
So, Heaven, Jeff is a baseball fan.
Okay.
So, do you want to tell
I'm
him
gonna
your
tell my
baseball
story, aren't I? Okay, so I was working one night and I had just taken down the stroller parking, and I walked over and I saw a family and they were parking their stroller in a no stroller parking area. And I was like, hey, like you'll have to park over there. And they said, no, we're waiting on someone. So I go inside, and then okay, before I go on, Gonzo really wants to know if you can answer who your favorite Puerto Rican YouTuber is.
You finish the story. Let me think about it for a minute.
Okay, perfect. So I go inside, and there's a tour guide sitting there, and he's like, hey, I've got a family for you. And I'm like, okay. So we go out, and it's the family that I just told to park their stroller. And I'm like, oh, great. Like, I'm just making a huge butthead of myself. So I'm like, oh, okay, hi. And he's like, all right, they're ready. And I said, okay. And we go to walk up, and there's a lady, she's still holding her coffee. And I said, okay, you'll have to leave your coffee with either the stroller or him. And she said, no, I just won't go. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah. And another woman says, oh, no, you should go. And she said, no. And about that time, the man next to me, who's like way up here, is like, just let her stay. And I look up, and I about peed myself, and I turned around and said, let's go, because it was Anthony Rizzo.
Nice.
And I was like, oh no. So we get up to the top, and I'm like waiting there. I'm talking to my cast member, ready to like say, we're going to put them on. And I'm like, I have to be busy because now I'm panicking. And I won't talk to him. I only talk to his mom. And I was like, so how many are in your party? And she said 6. And I said, okay. And I turned back around, and I'm like talking to people, making myself look busy, helping with the line and everything. And he taps me on the shoulder, and I like look, and he says, it's 7. And I quickly went, that's fine. And like just turned back around fast. And then when it was time, they opened the chain, and I said, okay, you can go. And they go up there, and I hear the person that's about to put them on go, well, are you riding by yourself? And he says, I don't know. And he's like trying to figure out who he's going to ride with now. And I was like, oh, I didn't do my job. Later, I was talking to the cast member that was up there, and I was like, oh, I about peed. That was Anthony Rizzo. I was so nervous. And she said, yeah, you're usually really good at grouping them. I wondered why you didn't do that.
Because it was Anthony Rizzo. I hear he's a good guy. I love baseball, and I've heard that he's a good guy.
He was really nice when I wasn't acting crazy.
I have some
and
baseball
actually talked to him
too. So I'm a huge Dodgers fan, and I've told the story a lot. I'll give a quick version here because some people who are in chat have probably heard it, but I'm a huge Dodgers fan. Game 7 of the World Series when the Dodgers got beat by the Astros. What is that on your wall? Does it say Cubs haven't won yet? Is that what
that's the World
you, Mom.
That's a World Series banner.
From 1904 or does it
2016?
so not unlike that, right? The Astros beat my Dodgers. We watched it. I stayed in a hotel the day before we went to Disney to watch Game 7 because, sweetie, we're watching Game 7. I don't care. Jesus could come, the president could call. I'm watching Game 7 of the Dodgers World Series. So we stop in a crash hotel, whatever, and my Dodgers get crushed. Yu Darvish gets crushed. I'm mad at him. Turns out the Astros were cheating. I didn't know that at the time, right? So now a couple of days later, I'm in Magic Kingdom, and they're having freaking parades. Everybody's wearing Astros jerseys. I couldn't get away from it, driving me crazy. The Astros actually had a parade. They went by me. I know they were there just to mock me. So the next day, I'm like over it. Like if I see another Astros jersey, I'm gonna throw up on them as I speak. It's done. And so I sit down at Hollywood Studios, and I'm resting. It's 157 degrees. So I'm taking a break. I'm looking at the dinosaur thing, whatever. And this beautiful young lady, mom, stroller, comes up with her little baby. And of course, she's wearing an Astros jersey, and it says McCullers. And I thought that was weird because Lance McCullers Jr. was a pitcher for the Astros, right? But I grew up in San Diego, and Lance McCullers, who was just Lance McCullers, but he turns out to be Lance McCullers Sr., was a Padre when I was a kid. He wasn't a superstar, but he was a Padre. So I was aware of him. And McCullers is sitting there. Somebody's in a McCullers jersey. He's good, but people don't buy McCullers jerseys. So I strike up a conversation. I say, congratulations. I'm a Dodgers fan, and I'm so sick of seeing those jerseys, but your team won. Congratulations. You're wearing a McCullers jersey. I was a fan of McCullers' dad. And she says, yeah, Lance isn't here right now. That was Lance McCullers' wife and kid. And I'm like, no disrespect, but I got to go because I'm surrounded by not Dodgers, and I'm getting... Anyway, so then it's a longer story than that. I don't want to keep you forever, but she was very, very sweet and very, very nice, and I was glad to walk away.
Yeah. So you want to answer Gonzo's question?
Yeah, I heard my pal Al's from Puerto Rico. I'm not really sure.
Oh my gosh.
I don't usually ask people where they're from, like, hey, are you from Puerto Rico? But I think my pal Al, I know when I was there was a very Puerto Rican flair to everything he was doing. So I'm going to go with my pal Al. Thanks for asking. So forgot about the question. But
he said, "Oh my God."
So growing up,
and it looks like he actually did this.
I was basically raised a Cincinnati Reds fan.
They're going to be good this year. If we play. Yeah.
And the thing was whenever cable came out, of course, in the 80s, we couldn't hardly watch the Reds on TV except for,
Cubs and Braves, baby. Cubs and Braves.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, the Cubs are on and we're out of school in the summertime and we're watching baseball during the day on TV. They just became, but my dad
and WTS made Braves and Cubs fans out of America. It was great.
Yeah. But my dad, he's still a Reds fan. They used to go all the way back when they used to have Crosley Field.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it was my great uncles would go, and they actually remember the time where they had photo day where you actually got to go down on the field and take pictures and everything like that.
In San Diego a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're leaving one time, and Johnny Bench pulls up. So all of my dad and everybody's over there trying to get his autograph. My Uncle Ray is on the other side of the car trying to get Johnny Bench's girlfriend's autograph.
Oh my God.
That would have been me too. Hi, Johnny. Hold on 1 second.
So
guilty.
But and then I know you say you hear a lot of people say that Pete Rose isn't a nice guy.
I've met Pete Rose. He's not.
Yeah. See, I had a friend. He said he wasn't a nice guy, but when
he would tell you he's not a nice guy. He would use the word that starts with an F and ends in U during that conversation.
But when he was when my friend was telling him how big of a fan he was of him and how big of a fan his dad was of him, he asked Pete Rose, "Can I call my dad? Will you speak to him?" Pete Rose had a conversation with his dad. Of course, most of it was like, "This is not Pete Rose."
Let's be fair. Everybody on the planet, including Pete Rose, is a great guy and a jerk in different moments, right?
Oh, yeah.
And just because Pete Rose, I'm a jerk, I'm also a nice guy. Pete Rose gets a bad rap, but Pete Rose needs some social skills. Let's be real. Some stuff has come out about Pete Rose that is clear that those of us who think he's a he's not running for Pope anytime soon. We have evidence that demands that verdict. But come on, he's just a ball player. He's not running for Pope. I mean, let's be nice. But no, he's not a nice guy. But that's awesome that he did that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not a
I loved him. I played ball like him. I wanted to be like him.
Oh yeah.
I went to the San Diego School of Baseball, and he was like the main draw one year. I went a bunch of years in a row. Tim Flannery owned it. I don't know if you know Padres, but for a while. Anyway, I met him a few times. At that time, I was a junior high kid when I met him for the first time. And it was in a coaching clinic, so it wasn't like I was one-on-one. It was me and like 12 kids or 18 kids or whatever it was. And he wasn't even trying. He was just, But you're Pete Rose, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be too hard on him, but.
Right. So we're
at babysit, I'll tell you that.
We're at that time. So Margie, Heaven, do you have anything you'd like to ask Jeff before we go?
No, I can't think of anything.
All right. Jeff, you have anything?
But hey, maybe if we're there at the same time, we'll have escargot together.
I will. I'll
maybe you can give Jeff the bacon.
I'll even buy.
I'm in. I will unwrap it and fire the insides out, and you can go to town, and I'll have the bacon.
All right.
So, Jeff, do you have anything you want to talk about that you got coming up?
I go live way too much, and I got videos now and then, and yeah.
You surprised me with last night's stream. I was like, Jeff's on now?
So I've been thinking about doing a sports show for quite some time. As I shared with you earlier, when I was really considering doing it, my wife my mom even were like, no, you need to talk sports. I love sports.
Right.
I love sports radio. I grew up in San Diego, and it's funny. So where I live now, Dallas Fort Worth area, it's where sports radio started. There's the Ticket was the first sports radio show in America, but I can tell you, they ain't as good as San Diego. San Diego and LA had, at least when I was there, the best sports radio on the planet, in my opinion, and the ratings would say so too. So I grew up listening to sports radio my whole life. And frankly, a bad sports radio show in San Diego and in LA is better than what we've got pretty much everywhere else. Now it's a little different, and New York has got some good shows, but I've always kind of, hey, Bax, what's going on, buddy? I've always kind of wanted to do it. I don't feel like it fits with my channel very well.
Right.
But I'm kind of in the I don't really care mode anymore. Like, so my good buddy Bill Guerrero. So Pete McDevitt, who just texted me right now.
Right.
And so how do I say this? I met a bunch of people who are good friends of mine because I would go live during a football game a couple years ago, and I would talk NFL football. I put on the Cowboy game, I put on the Charger game, and I just talk. I didn't have a strategy at the time. I was just going live and having fun. I didn't care.
Right.
Now that I'm trying to get a little more serious with it and let the algorithm do its job and do, learn the things from TubeBuddy and all the people that we talked about earlier, I don't think that going and doing a sports regular show or doing videos that are sports based on my channel makes a lot of sense as it relates to growth.
Right.
But you know what? It makes a lot of sense as it relates to my enjoyment of life.
Right.
So I'm not promising anything, but you could see that on a more regular basis. I go live in the morning. We talk Disney news and stuff, me and my wife. And in the evenings, I'm probably taking too much time, but in the evenings during baseball season, I end my day by watching sports, and I can do it here and talk about it, and that makes my life happier. So
wow,
that might be more of a common thing. We'll see. I had fun last night. Was it boring?
No.
I mean, I had fun.
No, I thought it was you had a great topic too. So
I mean, people are crazy. That was my topic pretty much.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. So if you haven't, which I doubt anybody in the chat hasn't, followed Jeff at Dole Whip Dad, please go check him out. And if you like his content, give him a subscribe. As for me, what time is it? Less than 15 minutes. I've got another live stream called The Evening Show, where I cover like entertainment news and Disney news. But as for that, that's going to do it. So I hope to see you next week on Hanging with the Family. And thank you all in the chat. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us.
It was a lot of fun. It went fast. I appreciate it.
Your mom, I think her battery went dead on her phone. So
sounds about right.
I think she had some escargot and she had to go.
All right. But as for that, we will see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.